Hello students, welcome to physics class once again. Today in this video we are going to discuss about a new article, that is equipotential surface. Before starting this article, first of all you should know what is the meaning of potential and how the potential is obtained for a charge at a distance r from that charge. That first of all you should know. So let us first of all define this. What is equipotential surface? An equipotential surface is defined as that surface at every point of which electric potential is same. Okay, so basically it is a surface having equal potential on all points. That is called as the equipotential surface. Okay, now when we are discussing about this, let us take a simple example here. Suppose we are having a charge as shown here in this diagram. Okay, let's say for convenience it is kept on a table, and say table is completely neutral, it is not able to generate any kind of charge and all these things. It is just for convenience. Okay, now let us say we are taking here 3 radii of same distance or same length as shown in this figure, you can see on that table. If I connect all these points now as shown in the diagram here, all that black dots or all that points on that imaginary circle, they will have the same potential, because we know that the potential is given by V is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 into Q upon R. That's why the value of potential will be same on every point. So if I connect all these points like this, okay, you will find that it is forming one type of circle there, and that circle can be referred as here equipotential surface. Okay, so in more generalized way, if we think now the same example, let us say we are having suppose a positive charge here kept like this, and say from that positive charge I am going at a distance r1. In diagram I have not shown there r1, but let us say that distance is suppose here r1. Then of that r1 radius I can form a circle like this, right? So all the points on that circle, they will define the equipotential surface. In the same way, if suppose I have taken another radius here, let us say it is some r2, I can make another circle here in this way. I have shown it here in that red color. Okay, so basically what will happen now here, it will also form one type of equipotential surface. Let us take one more. So now again we can form such type of circle here, suppose with radius r3. What we are observing here, across a single point charge, if we try to find out the equipotential surfaces, for convenience we have just shown here the circles, but we know that the potential is distributed like a sphere across that charge. So that's why what will happen here, the equipotential surface, it will have the spherical symmetry. Okay, it will come from this observation that electric potential at distance r is given by this formula, that V is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 into Q upon R. So this strongly suggests that the equipotential surfaces across that charge should be like sphere, or it will have the spherical symmetry. Okay, this is about the concept of the equipotential surface for a point charge. Now we can just form like this here, and we can say that these are the concentric spheres around that charge, single charge or point charge. Okay, let's go ahead. Now we'll take about the equipotential surface for uniform electric field. Let us say we are having such type of electric field, and say this electric field is extended up to this point like this. Okay, so at present we have just shown some portion of that electric field there. Okay, now what will happen here, we can make such type of plane surface or plane equipotential surface here. It is shown in orange color here, that you can observe. Okay, so every point on that surface, it will be having the same potential. Let us say the field is extending further like this. Then again we can make one more surface here, that is again referred as the equipotential surface. Let us take the field is still continuing, and again we can have such type of equipotential surface over that electric field. Okay, so here this was electric field, and all these, they are the equipotential surfaces, right? This is about the concept of equipotential surface for the case of uniform electric field. Okay, now here I am putting a homework for you. You can find NCERT book or even any type of book, you will get that answer. The question is that it's a homework for you. Draw equipotential surfaces for a dipole and a pair of two positive charges. Okay, what is dipole already you know. Suppose this is positive charge, this is negative charge, and let us say they are separated by some distance here 2a. So in that case, what type of equipotential surfaces will exist, that you have to draw, that you will search from that books. Okay, just like the electric field lines, we can make one more point here that is very clear here, that equipotential surfaces, they will not overlap, they will not overlap. Okay, that simple clue you have to find out and you have to keep in mind. Okay, and further, for the case of stronger electric field region, there will be more concentric equipotential surfaces or simply equipotential surfaces, whereas when there is weak field, for that case the number of equipotential surfaces, they will reduce. So that point also you will learn from that question. So it's a homework question for you, you try to solve that. Let's go ahead. Now we will try to find out an important phenomenon here, that is work done on equipotential surface. When we are finding this equipotential surface work done, it means that we have to move a test charge on the equipotential surface. So for the movement of that test charge, how much work is required, that we have to find out. Now this work done can be found by using two approaches. Okay, we are having two methods here. Okay, the first thing is that we can find this work by using the concept of electric potential, and second is that we can find out this work done by using the concept of electric field. Okay, so let's start with the concept of electric potential first of all. Okay, let us say we are having a positive charge as shown here in this diagram. Okay, and let us say that at a distance r we are having some equipotential surface, and on that equipotential surface we want to shift the charge. Okay, let us say this is equipotential surface first of all. This yellow colored line is indicating, suppose here, equipotential surface. Let us say we want to go from A to B. As shown in the diagram you can see, suppose our test charge is at A and we want to shift that test charge from A to B. Okay, something like this. Now obviously when we are moving from A to B, we may require some work done. So whether work is required or not against the electrostatic force, that we have to find out here. Okay, let us say first we will find from the definition of electric potential. We know that work done can be given by Q into V formula, but here now V means potential difference we have to take between A and B. So that's why we have written here V as VB minus VA. So we will put this value now in the basic definition of work done, that is Q into V. Okay, and the value of V is now here VB minus VA. So that's why we can write here W is equal to 0. Why? Because the value of potential at A and B, it is same, that is VB is equal to VA. That's why the work done will simply turn to be 0. This difference is 0. Q multiplied by 0 will be equal to 0. So that's why the work done is 0. This is the way which we have used by using the concept of electric potential. Now let's find out the work done by using concept of electric field. When I am using concept of electric field, let us say that the displacement of the charge is extremely small for the convenience. Okay, in diagram you will see that the gap is looking to be little bit wider, But let us say that we are moving through a very small displacement dx, or say some dl, something like this. Okay, you can see in the diagram now. At point A, okay, what we will find that the electric field line will emerge out from that point A, okay, as shown in that blue line. And when we are moving slightly from A to B, that time let us say that this dl is indicating the displacement. Okay, actually we have to go from A to B, but by making small displacements dl, we are moving suppose up to point B. Now what we can write here? We can write here dw is equal to q into E dl cos of 90. How it is coming? See, the formula for dw will be equal to f into dl, or f dot dl rather, but f can be given by q into E. That's why it is q E dot dl, and E dot dl is nothing but E dl cos of 90. So that's why what will happen here, the work done will be expressed like this, q E dl cos of 90, because this dl and this E, they are perpendicular to each other. Now simply angle is 90, that's why cos of 90 will be equal to 0. So therefore work done will be also equal to 0, right? So by both approaches we are getting that on the equipotential surface, if we are moving from one point to the other point, in that case on that surface the work required is 0. Okay, now let us summarize this equipotential surface, and we will try to understand the characteristics of this equipotential surface. Okay, the first, you can observe, no work is done in moving a test charge from one point to another point on the equipotential surface. Already we have proved this thing. Second, we can say electric field rather, it is always perpendicular to equipotential surface. It is not electric potential, it is electric field. We have seen already that is, suppose this positive charge, let us say it is a equipotential surface, then field at this point is perpendicular to it. So that is the meaning of that electric field at every point on the equipotential surface is perpendicular to the surface. Third, two equipotential surfaces never intersect. If you go for the case of say dipole or two similar charges and you try to find out the equipotential surfaces, you will come to this point. Okay, then the last one, equipotential surfaces are closer in regions of strong electric field and they are farther apart in the weak regions of electric fields. As I have told you earlier, that also you can verify if you take the equipotential surfaces for the case of say dipole or say similar charges. So these are the properties of equipotential surfaces. Okay, so this is the end of this topic here. You try to explore more examples, more numericals based on this, and again you will understand about this. Once you understood how to draw the equipotential surfaces, then it will be easier for you to understand. So till then, take care, bye.